All right, we'll take up file 2021-58072, Lonnie Johnson and Terry Stearns Johnson. Looks like Ms. Johnson is here, and sir, is that you on the phone?
Yes, sir.
All right, so both parties are here via Zoom, and this is a date and time set for an objection to a support review. Ms. Heaven is here from friend of the court. Ms. Heaven, do you have an update in the matter?
I do. Review was started because Dad Lonnie has the children on Medicaid and food assistance. The recommended order was for Lonnie to pay $510, child support $81, ordinary medical for a total of $591 a month. On February 2nd, he objected to that amount, indicating his expenses were too high and he couldn't take on that order. Already take care of my portion of expenses for kids. Lonnie and Terry want to follow divorce agreements.
All right, so Ms. Heaven, did you say that Mr. Johnson, Lonnie, has the children on assistance and he's the recommended payer?
Correct.
Okay. All right, sir, what was the reason for objecting?
Well, I only work part-time, number one. The kids are not on food assistance any longer. Took them off 2 weeks ago. But I am on assistance as far as health care goes. And you know, we have joint custody, so I already pay 50% of the expenses. And there's really no federal tax taken out of the amount on the paperwork that I seen.
Okay.
So I work about 24 hours a week. I'm barely making it as it is. And, you know, I pay for things like cell phone for my son. I got about $1,000 worth of expenses for my kids every month. I just took on paying insurance on my daughter's car. And I handle all the expenses on my daughter's car. And I just got it repaired. It was $800 to get it repaired. When I pay for the maintenance, tires, you know, everything that has to do with that. And then when they come, you know, when they come here, they come 2 weeks out of a month. I spend, each time they come, I spend about $300 in groceries. And so that equates to about $1,000 that I am currently paying a month.
All right. And ma'am, did you have any thoughts?
Say that again, sir.
Did you have anything you wanted to say today?
I do. Yes, Lonnie, we are sharing the 50-50 custody, but also on my side, I am the primary caregiver, you know, far as, you know, the medical traveling, you know, dental, vision, school needs. You know, Lonnie's schedule is just, it's very hard for him with the travel with Muskegon to be at those appointments. I think he would if he was able. So, you know, that puts me in a spot far as I have to cut work for that and not get paid. Far as anything medical with that, you know, I am the primary giver, and the children, you know, want their mom for those moments. So at this time, I mean, I just want a fair, consistent budget far as the kids' needs. He does help supply when financially when he's able to. You know, we try to work with receipts and whatnot for clothing. Yes, Lonnie does help with our daughter's vehicle, but that is a luxury. It is not a need because we both have a vehicle at this time. And, you know, and I appreciate that with him. As far as our son's phone, that's something he did on his own. We did communicate about working together. He took that on. But I'm looking more at their needs, their clothing, the traveling that I do. When I travel, I have to go to Fremont. I have to go to Muskegon. There's nothing close unless it's a walk-in clinic at Big Rapids. I am the one traveling and taking that time with my children as far as their medical, which I'm fine with doing, but that takes time away from, my budget as well as working, to be with them and to get their needs taken care of.
So the friend of the court initiated this review, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
And it was based on the food assistance because ordinary medical was already billing. So the Medicaid only, I don't think would have triggered it. Would it have, Ms. Heaven?
It did, because the Medicaid was under dad is the grantee. So we get the referral asking us to review it to make sure it's billing appropriate. Food isn't assignable, so we don't, nothing goes to the state as far as support.
Okay. So essentially, what I'm saying, ma'am, is that because he was the payer of the ordinary medical amounts in the old order, even though it wasn't that much, and he was the parent who qualified and received benefits from the state, then the friend of the court filed the motion to determine if support was billing appropriately, I guess is the way to put it. And that if you were the payer, then the amount for ordinary medical would go back to the state to reimburse the Medicaid budget. But it came out that he would be the payer, and I guess with equal overnights, maybe it sounds like you're requesting support, ma'am. So I'll dig a little deeper here. Ms. Heaven, what income did you use for each of the parties?
So I used $10 an hour for Ms. Stearns Johnson, as she reported, at 35 hours a week, and Mr. Johnson reported $35 an hour at 25 hours a week. They're both self-employed, so that was what I used. That's why there's no federal tax on the calculation.
How many hours a week? I'm sorry, for dad?
For dad, 25.
So $35 an hour, 25 hours a week, and mom's $10 an hour at 35 hours a week?
Correct.
So $10 an hour is not even minimum wage now. Ma'am, is there a reason you're not at least making minimum wage and working full-time?
Yes, there is. Far as I like to get my kids to school in the morning, I like to pick them up after school. And far as their appointments, I am, like I said, the primary caregiver for that. Because Lonnie's job is he's not able to be, he's not centrally located with his job. So I'm the main support for that, for all of their medical travel.
Many people work and still get their kids to school and get them after school. Do these kids have extraordinary medical?
Yes, they do, actually. Our oldest daughter, Maya, is from counseling to the doctor constantly. Our youngest daughter, Maisie, just had severe surgery here 2 weeks ago. She's missed over 25 days of school, which I stay home with her during that time period. She just had surgery 2 weeks ago. I was home with her for over 10 days, which I took time off to be with her during that time. So yes, I mean, that's my primary reason, is that my children are young and they're in need of that at this time.
How old are each of the kids?
Our youngest goes from 9, 13, 17.
So except for the couple weeks after the surgery, all three of them are school age and in school full time, right?
That is correct.
All right. And then what is it that you do? What is your
I clean homes and organize. And they are released from school from 3 to 3:20. Time you get home at 4 o'clock, from 4 to 9, it's dinner and crunch time when I have them, as far as Lonnie too.
Well, I know that, and that's a luxury if you can afford to, not work full time to be able to provide that type of care. But for the purposes of computing support, I have to use an amount that you're capable of earning. And that may not be the same. Okay. What other jobs have you had besides cleaning the houses and organizing?
That is it, sir.
All right. And you charge $10 an hour for doing that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is that just paid in cash by your customers, or is that?
I have one cash and one is through check.
Well, I mean, do you claim that as income with the IRS each year?
Yes, I actually have an appointment with Lerner in March to go over all my details.
Okay. So you pay taxes on it and all that?
Yes, this year, yes.
Okay. All right, and then, sir, you, what is it that you do?
I fabricate signs.
Who do you work for?
I work with a company by the name of Sign Cabinets over in Muskegon. So I drive 150 miles a day. So I spend about $80 a day or so driving over there.
Well, you choose where to live, so I can't really take that into consideration.
No, I understand. It's just a hard world out there, and that's all that I could find right off from the bat.
Where do you live?
I live in Big Rapids.
There's nothing you could do in Big Rapids?
Not to sustain. Well, you got to understand, I just got a divorce, and it was a financial windfall. And I have, quite a bit of experience in that field.
Okay.
But they could only take me on 3 days a week. So I'm processing. I've been there for all from March, till December and till current this year.
All right, so there are not additional hours available at that employment at this time?
No, 3 days.
Have you looked for other work in Big Rapids for the other days of the week?
I have.
You haven't been able to find anything?
I haven't been able to find anything, no. Not that I haven't been trying, but I just haven't been able to find anything full-time right at the moment.
Right.
In management or, in some higher level.
Okay. And then Ms. Johnson or Ms. Stearns Johnson indicated that she has additional expenses above and beyond what you have pertaining to the children's health care and things like that. Do you agree with that?
No, I think for the most part, we try to work it out the best that we can between us. If there's any expenses, we both have PayPal. I send her money whenever she asks for it, or if she had to, pay out of pocket for anything, she just provides a receipt and I pay. I went there. These are all choices, that Terry has made because the children, specifically the daughters, want their mom during that time. Well, I understand. I was there with her on surgery day, but wasn't there for the whole time. They left shortly after I had left. She got out of surgery about an hour or so after I had left the hospital. So they were there just for a short time longer, and Terry was gracious enough to, be able to go get the prescription, and so we try to talk amongst each other and get a plan together. It's not like she's, you know, she just takes all this on her own. So we do talk about all this stuff. We decide together generally what has to be done. If I have to fluctuate my days or miss a day, I will. Haven't run into that opportunity yet. But I do run the kids to school on the days that I don't, and pick them up on the days that I don't work. And I have family members pick them up and drop them off, and I provide gas money for that when they're here. Or they, you know, ride the bus if nobody's available. We do make concessions in every corner. As far as the joint custody goes, we work good together, it seems like. And it seems like, you know, we're pretty even as far as the expenses goes, except for some of the healthcare running. I do agree, but we always talk about it, and we always talk about what is needed to make that happen. And that does include gas money or, you know, or time off or, you know, fluctuating schedules and things of that nature.
All right, so if you paid the $591 a month, it really wouldn't be expected that you would contribute as often as it sounds like you do to those additional expenses. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you know, and this is kind of why we did the joint custody thing, is because we didn't want to have to be placed in this position, because we know that it will exceed or not exceed. There's two sides of the coin, I suppose. Some months will be lighter than others, and some months will be heavier than others.
Right, you would only be expected, at least as far as the court is concerned, to pay the $591 a month. You know, it seems like probably when the judgment was entered in 2022, early 2022, I guess, that you were only ordered to pay the ordinary medical. But you know, the friend of the court has to get involved when, and it sounds like the public assistance is what triggered the motion. And if you were both in agreement just to keep it as is under your current agreement, I probably would have, because you were the person with the children on assistance and the recommended payer. However, once the door is open, you know, it's open for good or better or for worse, I guess. And Ms. Stearns Johnson is requesting that support be set. I just want to make sure I get the right amount here.
But she didn't request the support.
Well, she is now. When I asked her if she had anything to say, unless I'm misinterpreting her words, it sounded like she was in favor of the court setting support at this time. Is that right, ma'am?
Yeah, so going back to, I mean, and Lonnie and I have spoke about this, but during the divorce process, you know, that is something Lonnie has always made decisions for, as far as financially. He's a business-oriented man, and I just followed suit during that time. I was very naive, you know, very emotional at that time. I just signed papers and did what was told. I would just wanted it easy and be done with it. Now going 6-7 months into divorce, navigating children's transition between two homes and age categories. You know, and as I said to him the other day, I'm no longer your wife. I don't want to ask for money. I would like to have the budget feasible. The kids rely on me for shopping and, you know, to navigate that and counsel that through them. I just feel it would be just be easier for him and I to kind of break that connection a little bit. But far as our custody, we're doing great, you know, with our schedules and transportation and whatnot. We're doing very well with that. Yeah, I think, you know, financially, it would be very helpful and feasible if I was able just to have the budget at hand.
All right.
And not ask.
Yeah, Ms. Evan, did you have a proposed effective date?
I used March 1st.
Okay.
And may I add one more thing, sir?
Yes.
And also with our children, 2 girls, 1 boy. My daughters do reside with me more. I am their mom, and our son is, he has a good connection with both of us. He's pretty much in the middle. He's a good grounded boy, but the girls want to be with their mom more. As far as their needs.
All right, Ms. Evan, did you use equal overnights for all 3 kids?
I did.
All right, based on the evidence presented, that being I guess the overnights now too, the incomes appear to be spot on as to what each party earns. There are both some travel expenses, it sounds like, for work and for maintaining the kids' health and schooling and things like that. And it sounds like Mr. Johnson pays a fair amount each month outside of any court order to help with easing the burden or with some of those expenses. So after hearing all of the evidence, I guess at this point, I feel that the recommendation is appropriate, especially with the explanation that Mr. Johnson wouldn't be hereafter required or expected or however you want to put it, to contribute anything other than the child support each month. His income is 3 days a week. That's not to say he couldn't get another job making something on the other 2 days in Big Rapids or the area where he wouldn't have to drive so far. But as is, his income is about $3,800 per month, and this is not anywhere near half or even a quarter of that. So it's not a concerning amount, as I tend to get concerned when the income or when the support recommendation begins to approach a third or a half of the income. So at this point, I feel the recommendation is reasonable and appropriate. For those reasons, effective March 1st, 2023, Mr. Johnson would pay $510 a month support and $81 per month ordinary medical. You guys will get a order in the mail to that effect within a few days. Is there anything else?
No, thank you.
All right, I guess we're all set. Hello, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
All right, we'll take up file 2017-55150, matter of Krista Adams and Tony Varoma, and there's a third party, Jody Adams. All are here. Matter was-
Yes, sir.
What's that?
I'm here. I'm sorry, my service is a little off.
Okay, I can hear you. Matter was set for hearing regarding support. Mr. Varoma objected to a support review recommendation done by friend of the court. Ms. Heaven is here from friend of the court. Ms. Heaven, do you have an update in the matter?
I do. Ms. Adams, Krista also objected, and I neglected to add that to the motion. So hopefully that's okay to address today as well.
All right.
I did a support recommendation, the statutory review. And I did deviate because the parties indicated that they did have some overnights with the children. Krista's support came out at 401 child support, 17 ordinary medical for a total of 418 a month. And Adam's support was 475 support, 20 ordinary medical for a total of 495 for one child.
Tony Varoma,
Yes.
Correct.
defendant.
Or I'm sorry, Tony, the child is Adam.
All right, so Ms. Adams, you objected to the recommended amount?
Yes, I did.
All right, why is that?
It doesn't fit my budget. I have my oldest son right now, and I'm trying to be able to pay all my bills and get another car. my hours got cut.
Where do you work?
GM Wood Products,
How much do you make?
$17 an hour.
How many hours a week?
Right now, 30 to 40.
Ms. Heaven, what'd you base her income on?
I'm sorry, what?
I'm asking Ms. Heaven now.
$17 an hour,
Okay, go ahead.
$17 an hour. And, sorry, I've got. And I used, we put 35 to 45 hours a week, and I used, I'm sorry, I gotta pull it up. It was 2,958 a month. And I used 40 hours.
All right. So, ma'am, you're not working 40 hours anymore?
Sometimes we get 40 hours, but we were working 45 hours a lot. And I'm living
You didn't use
paycheck to
45
paycheck right now.
She didn't use 45 hours, she used 40.
Oh,
So it's currently 227, is that right?
Currently, I don't think Chris was paying support.
Oh, nothing right now? Why not? Oh, right now it's set at 0, yeah.
Yeah, she's overpaid a little bit. Looks like it stopped in 19.
Oh, there's an order in 2019 setting support. Oh, I see. Is that the later amount? Yeah, no. There's an order, it says 5/18 of 2019, it was set at 0, but then 2/1 of 20, it was set at 227. Is there another order after that?
I see it stopped due to incarceration. I wonder if it just didn't get started back up.
When'd you go to jail, ma'am?
May of 2019.
Oh. It was supposed to start back up on 2/1 of 2020,
Yep.
and it never did.
Wonder if, doesn't look like it. Let me look at OPRI and see what was put in for that. Doesn't look like it, that tier was entered.
So, you gotta, unless I go back in time and put that on, which, I guess I'll hear what Ms. Jody Adams has to say, but you got an $8,172 break. If that's not reconciled, because that was supposed to start up at 227 a month on February 1st, 2020. That was just about 3 years ago tomorrow. Jody, what are your thoughts on that?
I'm not out to break the kids. I don't want to have to do arrears or go back. I know she struggles. We all struggle. If you can just start from now, I don't know what happened. I'm not the one to call. I don't know what to do on this stuff, so.
Do you feel that the 418 a month is reasonable?
How much? 418, you said?
Recommendation for Krista to pay was 418.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think it's high. I don't know. I've never had to do this before. So,
I guess let's deal with both.
yeah, do
Mr.
Mr. Varoma.
Mr. Varoma is gonna be arguing that $495 is too much. I guess, how much are you looking to see come in? What level of help do you need from the two of them collectively?
Can I say something, sir?
Hold on just a minute.
I know Mr. Varoma, when they put down on there that he had 52 overnights, he's only had 21 from January of 2022 to January of 23. So he's only had 21 overnights.
All right, that's not really my question. I appreciate that you don't want to break the kids. So right now I'm looking at
If they did,
$913 a month is being recommended. Okay, between the two of them, what do you think is a reasonable amount that would provide you the help you need, but not break the kids, in quotes, because those are your words?
say 500 a month from with total instead of the 900?
500 a month. So if they're both ordered, can you both wrap your minds around 250 a month?
Yeah. I also have my son on my insurance too.
Okay. Ms. Evan, was he given any credit for that? Is that possible in third-party cases?
That just happened like a week and a half ago. The lady at the third desk said that it was okay if we put them down, it would help them. So I put them down.
Okay. I can guarantee you're not
And
going
they're supposed to give me
$245 credit for that. Okay, but she's agreeing to take $250 from each of you. I think that's a pretty reasonable compromise. If the 500 is what she needs to help her out, and that's $245 less than it's being recommended you pay based on the circumstances, and about $268 less than Ms. Adams paid considering the circumstances. All
Yeah,
right.
I don't know what like they're supposed to pay now. I don't know what, I think Mr. Varoma pays like 132 every 2 weeks, so.
No, I got the paper in the mail with what I pay every 2 weeks comes up to $532.
Should,
It's $303 a month currently.
Yeah,
You probably are paying a little extra for arrears.
I got a paper in the mail that said I was caught up on that. So I don't like the paper I got at home told me what I pay.
You're pretty
Maybe that's
much caught up. You're pretty much caught up.
But my insurance, they give me a card with $360 on it. That'll go to Jody, and that pays for all of his like anything, like if he gets a prescription and there's a copay, that'll pay for everything, so she won't have to pay nothing out of pocket.
Okay.
he's got Medicaid.
I have to put the ordinary medical on there, so.
Yeah, they said that he can also get help with the state and still accept the insurance through my work, because I asked them all about that too.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna order Krista to pay $250 a month for support, so that'll go to Ms. Adams. And then 17 for ordinary medical, and I think that'll probably go to the state. And then I'll have Mr. Varoma pay $250 a month for support and 20 for ordinary medical. And that 20 would go to the state for the Medicaid. And so it'd be $267 total for Krista and $270 total for Tony. All right.
All right.
Okay.
All right, I'll do that order. You should get that within a few days.
Thank you.
All right. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a file 2020-57267, Madeline Alby and David Wilson. Mr. Wilson's here for a show cause set by friend of the court. The other party hasn't appeared. Ms. Hummel is here though from friend of the court. Did you have an update, ma'am?
Yes, there's no current billing. This is a Virginia state order case. They have $42,354.03 showing owed. We have $88.50 in fees for a total of $42,442.53. There's no priors. There have been no payments on the case. We do need to verify his address and employer information. We do have notification that the other party has passed away as of January 3rd. However, there is still over $8,000 owed to the state of Virginia that has to be paid.
So.
I have a notice right here saying that notice of trial versus child support case closed. It says your child support case number of the Social Security Act has been, it's talking about my case is being closed in 60 days. I don't know if it's because my grandma, this is from y'all too, also from the Waco County. I got this right here in front of me.
It's regarding the 4D number, your docket is not closed. There is an issue with closure letters going out that are for the 4D number. That does not include your docket or friend of the court case. There is a difference.
So the 4D number, what she's talking about is an internal Department of Health and Human Services number that's assigned to every person that has a case. I guess that's being closed, but your case number, your docket number is the same number as your case number, 2020-57267. I guess that case is not being closed. So that doesn't affect the collection of arrears that are still owed. Now, it sounds like the other party's deceased, so the amount that's owed to her, I guess, may be dismissed off that $42,000 balance, but that would still leave $8,000 or so that's owed to the state of Virginia. Is that right, Ms. Hummel?
Yes, Virginia has been notified, and they state it takes, they have to wait 61 days of no correspondence or notification from the CP. So as to how Virginia handles their arrearages owed to the other party, it is unclear if they intend to still collect that or not. But they did notify me that $8,246.42 is owed to their state.
All right, so I guess what she's saying there is in Michigan, if the person to whom the support arrears are owed passes away, those amounts are dismissed from front of the court records. They could still be pursued according to probate law, but we don't have any part of that. I don't know what Virginia does. They may or may not do the same thing. So if they do the same thing, though, that'll reduce the arrears by 34,000 or so that would be owed to Ms. Alby. If they don't, then, you know, I guess potentially that full amount would still be owed. Maybe you could file a motion down there for some relief if they don't dismiss that. But regardless, there's 8,200 left owed to the state at this point. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So where are you working right now?
No, sir. Actually, I'm waiting to get my birth certificate in from Virginia now so I can get an ID to get a job, but I haven't been working.
How long have you lived in Michigan?
I've been here going on 10 years. I was working when I first came here at the Arbor Farm.
So
They were taking child support every week out, but that was a couple years ago.
from what I heard, no payments were made. Maybe that was before it got transferred to Michigan.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you've lived here for 10 years. When's the last time you worked then? How long ago?
I've been doing side jobs. My ID got expired, so I'm waiting for my birth certificate now so I can get a job. But the last time I worked was probably about 3 years ago.
So you're able to work though?
Yes, sir. I mean, I do side work and stuff like that once it comes open, but
You can pay support out of that too.
huh?
You can pay on this out of that money as well. It doesn't have to be
Yes,
a
sir,
big
yes, sir.
job.
I haven't been. I mean, I've been in. I mean, I just got out of jail not too long ago, also in Lake County. So I mean, I've only been out about 3 months.
What'd you go to
I
jail
just
for?
done violation,
Violation of what? Parole?
probation. Yes, sir.
Probation? Parole? All right.
But once my birth certificate gets here, I plan on getting an ID. And I got called Northern Staff, and I'm talking with Miss Karen, but she's got a job waiting for me. So I should be having a job pretty soon. I'm just waiting for my birth certificate to get in.
All right. If you've been here for 10 years without a copy of your birth certificate?
Oh, I had one, but the one I had, they said was tampered with because I used to have it in my wallet, and where my mom's name was, it faded out and stuff like that. So Secretary of State told me that it was tampered with. So I got a hold of a friend of mine that had my original one, and she just sent it out to me. So I should be getting it this week.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. So when do you anticipate being able to make payments on this?
I'm gonna need a couple of weeks. I mean, like I said, I'm waiting for my birth certificate coming down. I'm still had to get me a job, so.
You said you had a
Give me
job
like
lined up, though.
Huh?
You said you had a job lined up, though?
Yes, sir. I talked with Miss.
I'm losing you.
Virginia expired, so at the time when I had a job out in Scottsdale, I have so I'm gonna get missing.
Yeah, you're connecting. I'm losing you. Your connection's bad. Yeah. Ms. Hall, how much is ordered to be paid each month? Is there a set amount?
I don't
Can you
believe
hear
that
me
there's a
now?
set amount.
So I got.
All right. Yeah, I can hear you. So if I give you
Sorry
till,
about
if I give you till May to start making payments, start making $250 a month payments at that point?
Yes, sir. I mean, I can try. I mean, I'll keep y'all in touch. I mean, update what's going on and stuff like that, but that should be long enough.
All right. I mean, that's basically all of March, April, and May before your first payment is due. That should give you time to get your birth certificate worked out and get a job, I would think.
Sir, yes, sir. I'm happy with that. Yeah, I'll agree along with that.
All right. I'll find you in contempt for failing to make payments that were ordered. Sentence of 45 days jail will be suspended. You don't have to serve it as long as you make payments starting in May of 2023 in the amount of $250 per month. If you do that, great. If not, then that 45 days would be imposed with a $2,500 bond. There's a $100 contempt fine that'll be added to your balance. Anything else? All right.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I didn't know if you were going to speak first or me.
Oh, I'm just turning everything on here. Hold on.
Okay.
All right, this file 2019-56314 Brooks and Adrian Brooks, and both are here via Zoom. Hummel's also here via Zoom, and this is the date and time set for hearing on objection to a support review. Ms. Hummel, do you have an update on the matter?
Yes, support review was started due to statutory requirements. The plaintiff is ordered to pay $40 child support, $18 medical support, and the review comes back at $115 child support, $24 medical support. The recommendation was, excuse me, to be effective 2/1 of 2023.
All right, and Ms. Brooks, ma'am, you objected to this review. What was the reason for objecting?
Mike has either bought Croton Dam flow trips or is buying Croton Dam flow trips and has income from that business that needs to be included that he did not include.
All right, so raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm any testimony given this cause to be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I swear.
All right,
Yes.
before we get to that, Ms. Hummel, what income did you use for Mr. Brooks?
I used $19.22 an hour times 40 hours. He works through EduStaff, and that is the hourly rate that they had listed for his hourly income.
All right, sir,
Not work
so,
40
oh, what's that?
He does not work 40 hours, but we imputed him at 40 hours.
All right, sir, so the income used was 19.22 an hour at what, EduStaff?
Yeah.
All right, do you have any other income from any other source beyond the income that you have through EduStaff?
No, nothing else through EduStaff, no.
No, any other income from any other source?
Oh, okay, yes. I am working on purchasing the Croton and flow trips in Croton.
Croton float trips?
Yeah, it's the canoe livery right by the bridge there in Croton.
All right, do you own it yet?
No,
Do you have any income from that business yet?
last year it came back with my taxes that I had made 34,521 before taxes, which I paid about 8,000. I don't exactly remember the exact number, but I have my tax form here. So
From,
that was and that, so it'd be 34. Yeah, it's 34,521.
that was your total income from both sources?
No, that was just from the campground, and then I ended up having to pay $8,000 out of that for taxes. And then it was 12,697 from EduStaff.
12,697 from EduStaff, 34,521 from the Croton Dam float trips?
Yeah.
So you made a total of about 46,000, 47,000 last
Yeah.
year?
Yeah.
All right. And how many hours do you typically work at EduStaff?
20.
All right, and then the rest of the time you're
8 months of the year, and then the other 3 months I'm not there. So 4 months, whatever. Yeah.
all right. Let's see. So if 1922 was used times 40 hours, that would be about 40,000 a year. So it looks like it was maybe 7,000 short from what your actual income is.
Except for I had to pay $8,000 in taxes, but yeah.
Well, the system takes the taxes. The system considers, we put in gross income and it does the math on taxes.
Okay.
So I guess Ms. Hummel, adjust Mr. Brooks' income to 47,000 from the amount used. Is that going to continue this coming year about the same, you think, sir, or is it going to be more?
It's going to be less this year because 2022 was not as good a year as 2021. So it's going to actually go down.
Oh, so you're talking 2021 income right now?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have this year's taxes done yet because I can't get my taxes done. I have an appointment in March, and I also have some goofy 99 stuff that comes from something else. I don't remember what, but anyway, I don't have my information, so I can't do my taxes until I might think my appointment's like March 8th or something like that.
All right, and then you're buying the business, so are you still going to continue to do the EduStaff after you fully purchase the business or not?
I would for the next 2.25 years that Bree's going to be, you know what I mean? I would, you know what I mean? So
Because
it's a seasonal business.
The float trips is seasonal. You only do that.
Yeah. Actually, both are seasonal. Technically, we drive school bus and.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It would take it to 144 child support, 25 medical support for $169. It's only a $30 difference.
All right, so I added about $30. Sir, you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Ma'am, are you okay with that?
Yep, sounds good.
Hey,
All right.
hey, sir. While I
Yeah.
got here, while I'm not trying to, fill up a whole bunch of court time for you. I was asking if there's any way that I'm trying to get Bree, the girl in question, to be able to take driver's education. And my concern is that if I sign her up for classes and you have to sign her up like 6 months in advance because they're filling up fast, how can I make sure she gets there on the week that she's not with me?
I don't know. Have you talked to Ms. Brooks about it?
I got no response.
Oh,
And I'm concerned that if I sign her up, which costs me like $500, that middle week, because it's a 3 weeks class if you're familiar with the whole driver's education program.
Yeah.
I only have her for 2 of the 3 weeks.
do you know the dates?
It was June, no, it was July. It was the last week of June. It was the last week of June, first week of July, second week of July.
So are 2 of those your weeks and 1 hers, or one of
Yep,
those?
the
your
last
weeks,
week
2
of
hers?
June was my week. The first week of July was her week, and then the second week of July was my week again. So,
All right, the child will be 16 by then, right?
yep,
All right.
it was. I have it here. It was. Oh, I lied. It's July 17th. No, it was this one. June 26th through July 13th. She only have to take her 3 days, which would be the 5th, 6th, and 7th, because there's one day that they don't have to go because of that week. It's the 4th of July week.
All right, keep in mind, they gotta do a bunch of drives too, and those are in addition to the class times, I think.
Yep.
And those have to usually occur within the same time frame.
Yep. I'm hoping that the instructor will work with us, but as long as she can get there on those 3 days, then, and I can still sign her up because it's been 2 or 3 weeks since I sent her that information. So,
Yeah.
On the first page of the notice of hearing, it says custody and or parenting time issues that you would like to be addressed or changed can only be taken care of through an appointment with both parties at the front of the court office or through a filing of a parenting time complaint form or by filing a motion regarding custody or a motion regarding parenting time with the front of the court office.
Okay, or if you both agree to address it, I guess you don't want to address it?
No, sir, I don't. I'm not going to talk about scheduling stuff during my summer vacation. Mike has his week, I have my week, and we're already busy for 4th of July. So this is about child support review, and that's it.
All right, sir, she's got a point. We really aren't supposed to talk about things unless both parties agree to do so, and she does not.
okay, so I can file the paper then and just go that route then?
You can file a motion regarding anything if you wish.
Yep.
Sure.
No, I don't want to waste your time, man. You know?
All right, we're all set then.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, good. Just a second here.
Hello. There's Kyle, Billy.
What's that? Oh, you're together? Oh.
Yeah.
Are you Heather?
No, that's Billy.
No. I'm Kyle.
Billy or Kyle?
Billy. I'm sorry, Billy Marshall.
All right. That's not Heather there with you?
No. Yeah, that was Heather.
That was Heather. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right, just a second. All right, we'll take up file 2014-53238, Heather Day and Billy Marshall, and both are present via Zoom. And this is date time set for hearing on Mr. Marshall's motion. Ms. Heaven is also here from friend of the court. Ms. Heaven, do you have an update in the matter?
I do. Mr. Marshall has a monthly support obligation of $107 a month. He currently owes $1,280.71. His license was suspended May 20th, 2016. He has been paying pretty consistently. Plus arrears
Let her talk.
since July of 22.
All right. So for that amount of time, he was meeting the obligation plus paying some towards arrears?
Correct.
All right, and sir, what are you requesting at this time?
Just the okay to get my license here in Michigan, because it's really been putting a big old burden on me, man. Like trying to like make sure I keep my job and at the same time paying on my back child support, dude. It's been really tough to have my own license.
Sometimes it's hard for him to get a ride back and forth to work because sometimes, you know, people are busy and everything. So he's just looking to get his license in the state of Michigan. He's already tried to go down to Secretary of State and they told him he couldn't because it was suspended in another state, I believe.
Which I done fixed that problem by itself.
All right, so Ms. Heaven, who's the majority of the arrearage owed to?
To
Oh.
Heather Day, actually,
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
Heather is owed $306.33. The state for medical support is owed $531.38. The rest would be fees.
All right, and ma'am, you're not opposed to Mr. Marshall getting his license back?
Yeah, he needs it,
No.
definitely.
Are you opposed? Yes
Oh,
or no?
no. I want him to get it. That's what I'm saying.
All right. All right, well, both parties are in agreement. About a third of the arrears are owed, about a quarter of the arrears are owed to Ms. Day, but at this point, the license has been suspended for going on 7 years.
Yeah.
Payments have been made pretty regularly, so I'll go ahead and enter an order allowing reinstatement of your driving privileges.
There you go.
The way you do that is there's a fee that has to be paid here at the front of the court.
Yeah, it's $40 and then $100.
And then Ms. Evan will do
45.
another order for you to take to the Secretary of State. You've got to take that there within a very short amount of time.
2 weeks. Yeah.
Okay, so you need to have both
10
fees,
days.
10 days. So you need to have both fees ready to pay before you pay here, because then you only got 10 days to pay the one at the Secretary of State, all right?
So it's a total of $140 fee.
Yeah, but just as long as I pay with them, I got 10 days from when I pay with them to go get my license, right?
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's 40 here. I don't know what you owe the Secretary of State.
Yeah, I can tell you. I think it's 45 here, isn't it?
45, that might
let's see. And then Billy, just let me know before you come so I can have that form ready because I'm, so it's 85 to the state and 45 to the circuit court.
All right.
Okay, that shouldn't be a problem. But as soon as I pay with the friend of the court, or I mean, it's been 10 days like after I paid the 45, correct?
That's how
You
long you
have
have to
10
go.
days from the time you get that form from the clerk to get to the Secretary of State's office. Otherwise, you're gonna have to do it all over again.
All right, so it's 10 days after I pay the money, or 10 days from this court appointed, like.
No, when you come in to pay the money to the clerk, the $45, they're gonna give you a form. You got 10 days from the date that you pay the clerk to go to the Secretary of State's office.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
Awesome, amazing. Thank you
Alright.
guys. That's all I needed to do. That was like completely easier than what I was thinking.
All right, good. Well, you're all set. You'll get the first order in the mail, the one just saying that your license can be reinstated upon payment of appropriate fees. Then you can bring that up here with the $45 and get the other one. Make sure you have the other 85 ready to go. All right?
All right, cool. It's 10 days after that. All right, thank you, sir. I really appreciate you, bud.
All right, you bet. You're all set.
All right, thank you.
All right, we got you now?
Hey, there you are. All right.
All right, what's your name, sir?
Jesse Thomas Mayette.
Oh, all right. All right, just a second. All All right, we'll take up file 2013-52467, Shandy Henley and Jesse Mayette. Mr. Mayette is here for a show cause. And matter is set for 9:30. It's now a little after, and we'll proceed. Ms. Heaven is here from friend of the court. Ms. Heaven, do you have an update?
I do. Mr. Mayette is ordered to pay $389 child support, $31 medical support for a total of $420 a month. He currently owes the plaintiff $7,969.61. The state $2,139.29. Fees $692. Total owing, including February's billing, $10,800.90. We received 3 cents on October 19th, 2022, $146.19 October 12th, 2022. Same amount on October 5th, 2022, and September 28th, 2022. He does have prior contempt. We do have an income withholding order out to Hart Enterprises since January 18th, 2023, but we've not received anything.
All right, and sir, do you agree that you owe the amount stated?
Yeah, yes, sir.
And why haven't you been making payments?
I lost my job there for a little while, and it was a little rough, so I didn't have a source of income, but I'm back working now, so everything should be all right.
So you say you're back working, but they're not sending anything in. Are they paying you?
I don't know how. They just took it out of my last check. I just got a check Friday, and the child support came out. I don't think I have the check stub on me, but they took it out 145 and some change from my last check. So I don't know why it didn't show up in your guys's system. But
Well,
yeah,
it wouldn't be here yet on Friday.
oh no, okay, but yeah, they just recently took one out Friday, and then this Friday they're gonna take out another one.
All right, that was the first time you got paid by them, though?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what are you doing there?
We actually make medical supplies. I wash needles is mainly what I do.
Okay. So have you not had consistent employment over the last few months, though?
Yeah, over the last couple months it was rough. I was turning in apps, but nobody was calling. I didn't understand why, so I finally gave up and just went to Workbox. And they had me in a job in like a week.
Okay. So you're 10,800 behind. How are we gonna get that paid up?
Well, I got my taxes coming in here pretty soon. I got to go file for those, so that'll take care of a little chunk of it. But other than that, hope just this job, hopefully I'll be able to catch up. I started doing good there at Magna for a while. I got caught up a little bit, and then I lost it, so I fell right back behind. But yeah, I plan on being here for years to come, so hopefully I can catch up sooner than later.
All right, you got anything to pay today?
I don't know. Friday I will when I get paid.
How much you getting on Friday?
After you guys take child support, I end up with about 300.
All right. Well, all right, I'll find you contempt then for failing to make payments as ordered. Sentence of 90 days to be held in abeyance. You don't have to serve it. As long as you make your payments each and every month, as long as you do that, like I said, you wouldn't have to serve that 90-day sentence. If you fail to do so, the sentence would be imposed with a $2,500 bond.
Okay.
About a quarter of the arrears. There is a $100 contempt fine that'll be added to your balance. Anything else?
No, sir.
All right, you should be all set.
I'm good.
Thank you.
Yep, you're all set.
If you get hired in at Hart Enterprises, you need to let us know, because right now Workbox is the one paying. Okay?
Yeah, yep. I go through Workbox, and then when I get hired in, the pay rate's gonna change because I'll get paid every 2 weeks, not if I work through them. So,
Okay.
all righty. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day.
Let's see, we'll take up file 22-58190, Valentin Campos and Diana Ojeda, and looks like maybe both are present with Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller technically represents the plaintiff, it looks like. Did you have both parties there in your office, Mr. Miller?
They are, Your Honor. They're actually up front in my conference room.
All right. And the matter was set for a motion to opt out of friend of the court services. I do have Ms. Hummel here from friend of the court. Ms. Hummel, do you have any kind of update in this matter?
Yes, I do. The minor children are active assistants. They've been on Medicaid for several years. The DHHS has been notified. The parties are separated. So we will be receiving a referral to have support set based on the children receiving Medicaid. Also, it lists that there are 2 other children that have been born during the marriage.
All right. So, Mr. Miller, the motion to opt out can't be granted if there's any public assistance being rendered on behalf of minor children.
I understand that, Your Honor. I actually spoke to her about that, and she'd advised me on 2 different occasions that the kids weren't on public assistance. So that's a surprise to me.
Oh. You spoke to who, Ms. Ojeda?
Yes.
All right. Ma'am, is it not your understanding that the kids are receiving Medicaid?
Yes,
It is your understanding or it's not?
yes, it is.
Okay.
They're receiving,
What's that?
they're receiving Medicaid.
Okay. Did you let Mr. Miller know that?
No, because I didn't know what kind of public assistance. So
Okay.
yeah, I thought it was about like something else, like checks or money or something like that.
Yeah, there are three types that all require that support be set and prevent cases from being opted out of friend of the court services. There's Medicaid, cash assistance, and food assistance.
Oh,
And the reason being is,
Daycare also.
and daycare, I guess. The reason being because support is then required, and some of that support goes back to the state to so that the state can provide those services. So it goes back to help reimburse that budget item that lets the state do that. So at this point, I guess, Mr. Miller, was there anything else you wanted to say? I wouldn't be able to grant the opt-out motion.
No, I mean, I would have not wasted everybody's time if I would have known that. So,
Okay, and then it sounds like the department will refer the matter to the friend of the court for a support motion at some point in the future. Based on that, now that the department's been made aware that the parties are not residing together and divorced.
well, in light of that, we've got a judgment of divorce that my client actually have already reviewed. We haven't had her review it yet at this point, but I didn't finalize it because I was waiting to put the approval dates and stuff in the judgment today. But so we'll be able to submit a judgment here, rather quickly. Can I just put something in there that in the support provision that just says that the matter will be referred for child support and not have to go through the, UCSO process and all that?
Ms. Hummel, will you get a referral right from the department? Do you know how long that takes or?
I don't know how long it will take. The fastest way would be if Mr. Miller ran the calculation on the free public calculator, since he has both parties there to get their information. Or he can put in the order that front of the court is to review support.
I mean, the problem is the free calculation is not what you guys have. And, if
We have.
it is,
Yep, if you go on my child support website,
yep.
the free calculator out there is what we use. That's the
That
same
would-
thing on our system that the state downloaded.
But it's provided by the same.
Yeah, it's the
same, it does the same calculation. It's not done in the same format, but it's the same calculation, the same mathematics are involved.
Okay.
Because it's provided by the same company that provides the one the front of the court does use.
I mean, my thing is this, I want to get this judgment entered because this case has been pending for a while. So if if I do it, is, once Medicaid makes a referral, I mean, is it just going to get recalculated?
No, if there's support, it
As
won't.
long as child
Okay,
Because there's already support. They'll only refer it to the front of the court if there's no support set.
but the problem is they can't deviate because, she's on support, she's on assistance.
That's true.
I guess, could we just get some sworn testimony from her so that I can get what I need to use for my numbers then?
Yeah, swear both parties in, I guess. Both raise your right hands, folks. You both swear or affirm any testimony you give in this cause to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Miller, you wanted to ask questions of one or both of them?
Well, I can get them from my clients or just of her.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right, Ms. Ojeda, Mr. Miller has a few questions for you.
Ma'am, are you currently working?
Not right now.
All right. When was the last time that you worked?
Like like 3 months ago. I don't really.
And where were you working the last time you worked?
I was working on Magna Mirrors in Nuevo.
And what were you making at that time?
I was a machine operator.
And how much were you being paid at that time?
How much what?
How much were you making? Hourly rate?
In 16.75 an hour.
And how long did you work there?
Like for 6 months, I think.
All right. And have you always worked jobs that kind of makes about that kind of money per hour?
Yes.
Do you think that 16.75 is a fair hourly rate to use for you in the child support calculation?
Yes.
And how many children did you and my client have together?
2.
And do you have other children besides the 2 that you have with my client?
I have my other 2 children.
So you have 4 children total?
Yes.
All right. Are you paying any child support to anyone else?
No.
Are you receiving child support from anyone else?
From Valentin. He helps me.
Okay. But you don't have any other formal child support for anyone? Do you pay for any health insurance?
No.
So who is going to claim the children for the 2 children that you and Valentine have? For income tax purposes?
Oh, just 1 and 1.
So you're going to split them?
Yeah.
And do you claim the other 2 children that you have, or how does that work for income tax purposes?
Yeah, I claim them. Los otros dos. But I haven't do that yet because I don't have the social security of them yet.
Okay. And I think that's all I need that I can think of off the top of my head. Is there anything I'm missing, Ms. Hummel?
No, if she's not working, then she wouldn't have any union dues or anything like that due.
Right.
The number of overnights that the parties have would be another major factor.
Yeah, I was going to go over that with them privately.
Yeah, if you got a judgment ready to go, that's probably already in there. And I would assume that you put language in there excluding those other 2 children.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, we actually had a Seraphin hearing at the proofs hearing. So.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. All right. So for today's purposes, I'll deny the opt-out motion. I guess you have your information that you would need to complete your judgment and a uniform support order. Was there anything else for today?
I think that's it.
All right. We should be all set then. The only order I'm gonna do is the order denying the motion. Other than that, everything sounds like you're gonna take care of that. Okay,
Sounds good.